Okay. Welcome. It's been a minute since we've talked about writing. But I love writing and I should be updating you guys on my book and everything like that. And I realize that you might not be able to hear me all that well. And I'm trying not to speak too loud because my brother's asleep. Because rude, right? Um, so I figured that we can go over kind of like a bit of my writing process as of late, especially because I'm in a little bit of a writer's block, and we can kind of go over how I'm getting through that. Um, Especially because I think since I've moved here back, I haven't. Anyway, I figured I'd show you guys a little bit of my writing process, especially because right now I'm kind of like stuck in a funk, and I haven't updated you guys on writing or shown you guys really anything with writing other than like the little snippets here and there in the vlogs on which is all I've been filming really anyway since I've moved back. And you know what? I'm not gonna let all that like keep holding me back, and we're gonna get to it. Um, and I'll probably jump back on and off here because I'm not opening my window. It's like already in the like 80s, 90s, and it's like 10:30. Like it's nuts out there. So, um, we're gonna start with that, and we're gonna use for now our trusty brand new phone to do so. Way better video quality, and if I put in a headphone, I get 100% 360 audio, which actually sounds really good. And I can adjust it better for the movies until I can get a shirt clip mic. So, which will be a couple weeks because I need some tires. And like I said, Marilla's got to be seen by the vet, and we don't know if it's going to be like a little more in depth or not. So, here we go. So, I am not a huge plotter, but I feel like I need to plot this specific story out. So, what we're doing is we actually are going to start with Project Golden Touch. And I'm not gonna really get into a lot about what it's about, other than it's like a King Midas retelling, but in not modern, but like not medieval, for the most part time. So I think I've talked a little bit about it before, but um, yeah. So what we have for that is we immediately start with our Spotify playlists. Yeah, I don't care if you guys have my name. You guys know my name. And yeah, there's apparently 138 songs in here. I didn't realize that I went so in depth with this project at any point. So, um, yeah. So we're gonna give ourselves a 5 minute timer, and we're gonna sit here and we're gonna write everything that we can possibly think of happening in that amount of time. I don't like to type because I feel like I don't go as in depth, but I also feel like I do a 5 minute writing session and a 5 minute typing session normally just to get as many ideas out as possible. So it's like a 10 minute just. I haven't started this project like I have in the past, but then it just never goes anywhere. So we're gonna kind of redo and see where we're at with it. So we're gonna start that 5 minutes and try to set up my phone where it's good to. Perfect. Okay. So I found, I found one whole new thing out, because part of it didn't make sense to me. I couldn't figure out why. I couldn't figure out the why. Now I have all the why. So these 5-minute sessions, I usually nonstop write. As you could tell, I was taking a couple breaks. Surprisingly, like I said, I haven't been doing it a lot. And this pen is surprisingly heavy. So I found out new information, and I went, oh, you know what? That tracks. That works. That tracks. So basically, what I wrote during these, and I can share that information with you just so you can get a thing. I couldn't think of anything at first. My mind was blank. So I started, I'm like, what are the characters? What are their names? If you know them. So, like, if I didn't have a name yet, I literally wrote cousin. The main character's boss, which I know the main character's name, thankfully. And then I just kind of, like, made a list of, I think I did 8 characters, and then most of them being side characters. Like, these are people that we'll probably not see very often, if at all. And then from there, I went and I started being like, hey, main character, start walking a little bit, reading a little bit, writing it down the feelings, not reading, wow. And then from there, I was like, what's this, like, alright, this is not in order, but this is now what I'm thinking of, and I switched it. I just, like, immediately, whatever I was thinking, I was writing down. Because I can always bridge off of these little ideas later and, like, get more of a backstory for myself before I start writing. Because obviously I don't have a plot or an outline yet. I think I might have a start of an outline for this project. I'm gonna check. And then I have, like, childhood friend this person, and wrote a whole bunch of things with that, and, like, da-da-da-da-da. And, yeah, I kept going. It's like, hey, yeah, I wrote, like, a whole, like, little snip page thing here. So, fun times. And that is basically, like, a quick little, like, way to get me out of a writing slump to a point. I mean, I guess this one works. I highlighted, ended up what I actually wanted for. This is, like, a very rough outline of a different project that I have the whole book written, but I'm probably rewriting it because it was so long ago. I did, like, a little summary per chapter because I usually write before I plot, which I know seems so silly, but I usually write before I plot because I'm more of a pantser. But for outlining, I did take this when I did do, like, a rewrite that I'm gonna probably do another one, because I just think it sounds like the project seems like a very, like, low level, like, kind of immaturity to me. And these are adults. They're not supposed to be immature at this point. Well, you know what I mean. So what I did was I went back in the project and started reading. And then I wrote a brief summary, brief-ish, obviously, if there are multiple lines, it's not brief, of each one. And then I went back afterwards, highlighted the important information that I wanted to keep per chapter, and that is what I used for my second draft for this project. Now, the reason there might be a second, like, another rewrite is right now that project is specifically in third person, and I write books in, like, both tenses, not at the same time, but I don't know what would work better for this project, so I'm gonna write it both ways. So I'm trying to figure out the plot by doing this outline, so that way I'm more easily able to figure out that plot. Like, how am I supposed to write even in first person if I don't know the plot? Like, who are going to be my POVs? I know I follow this one character, his name is Dolan, around the entire story, but I feel like if we're in a first person point of view, we need another point of view, because when we're in third person, we more do it, like, as a whole, like, we're outside, we're watching from the outside. So whose point of view from the outside can we see to make this more impactful? And I think I have an idea on who I want that to be, but I would have to play with it and see which of the, like, 4 characters that you see constantly I would want that for, and who makes the most impact. And there is kind of one other like main character that we watch, but like she kind of doesn't know what's going on, because she's confused, she's new, and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna be refining this and fine tuning this specific draft, and outline. So now that I've taken that, I'm gonna see within the plot itself what important pieces do I want to take away, because I know the plot. I know what I want for the plot, but that is not always enough. Sometimes you have to go a little bit deeper than that. And when you're a writer, you have to go way deeper than that. So that is kind of how I do it, in like the short term, because when I'm in the mood, then I'll like go in depth. Is this? Yeah, so I literally have like a whole bunch of notes for this project, but I didn't even do a plot. I basically, here, I will take these sticky notes off because they have spoilers, I think. Is I wrote like a top overline, and then I wrote what I want my first chapter to be, essentially. So, I didn't do anything else, and then I was like, oh, second part, and I started like writing down the characters and all of that, and obviously my legal pads ripped because I'm a little rough with them, but figuring this stuff out is kind of difficult for me, and having the music really helps, because if I feel a vibe, I kind of play a video through my head, and that's how that works, at least on my end. This one has a project on it, but hasn't been plotted at all, because I'm not into it, if that makes sense. This one I'm actually into. It was actually probably one of my most popular posts on Instagram for the longest time. Everybody wanted more, but I have no idea what I want to make of it. Like, what happened to send this girl into chaos, and we follow the boy around. We don't even follow her around, so he's looking in from the outside, trying to figure it out and trying to get it done. And then yeah, when I say like, I did weird breakdowns. Like, I did huge one-page breakdowns for this project. Like, this is what I mean by refining my outlines. Like, I will write a huge what I want to happen in this chapter, but I'm like, no, how do we summarize this? How do we make this into an outline with the plot, and then we can do a bigger summary later when we're outlining further. Like, right now we just need to get the words out, and I struggle with that, clearly. This is my main storybook one. I again wrote scenes that I was thinking of. I didn't even write anything, and then I'm like, rewrote the entire first chapter of the book there, and I was just like, ooh, okay, here we go. And from there, we started our magic system, which, if we know, I had no idea what I wanted it to be for my main project, Changing Fates. Which I'm not sure, I don't even know if I want to keep the title, but I do. It's weird. I haven't decided on anything yet, but that's the project name right now. The project name is Changing Fates. It's a part of what I'm calling the Exiled series that I have. I know I haven't published, and I know people are like, oh, don't get your hopes up with like series and stuff like that, and I'm just like, okay, but this wouldn't fit in one book. There is an ending to the first book, and it can kind of be a cliffhanger. It can kind of end there if people really like want it to, but I personally don't, so I'm probably not. Right now in my documents, I have a notes section for the magic system, and I did this 5-minute outline for that magic system. And I will tell you what, things clicked into place so hard that, I almost forgot about that. Where did I put it? Uh-oh. But yeah. It's just nuts. It's nutty and it's fun. I don't know what else to show you guys right now. I'll think of things throughout the day, but that's kind of my process, especially when I'm in a writer's block. It's listening to music, doing these 5-minute like little sprints for myself. And then, going on Pinterest and making Pinterest inspiration boards is probably like tea, because I sometimes will be writing, and I don't know what a character like either looks like, and I don't really describe them like too in depth, because I want people to be able to use their imaginations. I mean, my main character, I do have a more descriptive version of her, but like a lot of my characters, I just give you basically hair color and eye color. Like, I don't really go like tiny, big, built, like body shape wise, anything, unless it's like absolutely necessary and intended, which I don't think I did this entire series. So yeah, but I didn't even know. Another thing is, I like to free write because I know the plot, so I write that little thing out for the plot purposes, and not even for chapters half the time, just these certain projects I need the chapter outlines. And I don't even know a character exists. Like, in my first book, I think even my Big Bad didn't exist at first. My first book, Big Bad, I will tell you the name, is Calibran / William. Neither one of them existed until after I was writing. None of them. Because I know how the plot ends in the end, and who is the biggest of big bads. But yeah, nobody existed. The kidnapping didn't exist. The eternal poison didn't exist. The main stipulation to the story did not exist until I was writing. And then same with like probably beloved and favorite characters among the writing community that has read and given me feedback. Never existed. I have people that swoon for one character, and I'm like, yeah, he never existed. Until I wrote it. I was just like, you know what? I need to bring something to the table. And I did. And apparently it was one of the best decisions that I made. Not a single person has said he is unnecessary. They're just like, why didn't you introduce him sooner? And I literally couldn't. But that tells me all I need to know right there. So now I'm trying to figure out, is there a way? But there isn't a way. So I'm going to see if I can speed up the rest of it to bring us to him faster. That's my process right now. And that's kind of not even an update of where we are, and more of an update of where we are is, sorry, I have like really bad like heartburn. I haven't eaten, and I had to take my medicine without eating, which not recommended. Anyway, the project essentially is at a really good spot. Now we're like in the middle of rereading the third book. I just want to try to make sure that everything from the first book to like the fifth book kind of match. I know that's not really going to be like super possible, right? Especially because there's so many, and it's going to take time. So right now I'm just doing a read through of all of them. I've already decided when I reread book 2 that I'm going to rewrite it. It still has 2019 feelings writing style, and I am not the same writer. I have definitely grown, and I can see the difference, and I feel like even though like all that, I don't feel like my characters like grew. I feel like they almost like reverted to back who they were back in the first book, and I'm like, no, they grew a lot in the first book, like in little ways. So and then with book 1, I'm picking orders, breaking down each chapter into scenes. I like breaking them down within the NovelPad app. I'm going to be making character cards. I'm going to be like actually taking my 2 flashback scenes and combining it into the actual story itself, and maybe making like a small chapter of an actual flashback so we get like the whole picture instead of these like little things, because I don't think it needs to be 2 chapters. It really doesn't. It kind of takes away from the story. It pulls you away for a little too long, and I don't like that. And my CP didn't like it either, and has been trying to help me like figure out how to meld it together last I talked to them, which has been a while, specifically about projects. I mean, I talk to them all the time, but it's been a while since we've talked like books and plotting and actually read each other's work because we've both been so mentally drained. So we both took a step back kind of from writing, which is fine. But I'm ready. I want to be back in it. So we're getting back in it. I don't think I can go over anything else with my writing process. Like I said, if there's anything else today, I will definitely show you guys. But we always have the water. We always have the drink. We usually have a special drink too, like seltzer or like a probiotic or like something. But we don't today. So is what it is. I'll talk to you guys at a later date. And if you have any questions about my writing process that you think I didn't answer or you want me to go more in depth on instead of rambling and saying the same things over and over again, feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to send me an email or a DM on any of the apps out there that I have, and I will get back to you. I only use TikTok, Lemonade, Instagram, and Threads for these right now, other than YouTube, which clearly we're on. So yes, I use YouTube. Duh. That duh was to myself. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon.